What the hell happened to you? Teddy stood there almost stunned by the sight of his diminished lab mate. Your guess is as good as mine. I've been getting younger since yesterday, I think. It must have been the DNA. I must have been exposed to the device as it toppled to the floor. Jamie sat down and began to explain his theory. No, not possible, you were only exposed for a brief second. The animal experiments had been given 5-minute doses, far more exposure than you. Teddy responded, but Jamie shook his head. But we were overloading the DNA. Isn't it possible that the increased output of the device could have triggered my regression? It's possible, however, there is no way to measure how much the output was at the time of the accident since the data was corrupted when the laptop hit the ground. There is no way to figure out how much exposure you received. Teddy sat back and contemplated the possibilities. All we can do is wait and see what happens. With that, Jamie rolled his eyes and put his head in his hands. Arriving home from the lab, Jamie and Marjorie broke the news to the family. How old will Dad get? Will he get an earlier bedtime like the others? Will he get pimples? Will he have go to school like us kids? All these questions, but very few answers. Jamie especially squirmed when asked if he would have to listen to the kids if they were older. No. I'm your father and that will not change. By Monday, Jamie was again looking a little younger and far more fit. The 40-year-old spare tire around his waist was gone and renewed energy he hadn't felt in 20 years. Jamie was now looking more like a freshman. In the school hallway he passed Catherine, the beautiful blonde, who looked him over and smiled. As their eyes locked on each other, volumes were spoken without a word being said. She then disappeared into the crowd, leaving Jamie standing there with a large Woody. Jamie went back to the lab and reviewed all the data possible while he began to theorize how to stop the regression and restore to his former age. While studying the problem, he realized this new body had some benefits. His new figure and sex drive were a definite plus. Even if the process could not be reversed, he would be happy if it could be stopped soon. The other possibility, regression past another year or two, could be disastrous. If the process continued, he'd started getting zits, which would definitely spoil his good looks. By Wednesday, Jamie was starting to fear the worst. His body had continued to regress. Now his muscles were disappearing. The athletic frame he had a few days ago now lost its tone, but worse, his hairy chest was starting to thin. During the afternoon, Jamie passed the beautiful orientation in the hallway and decided to talk to her. Hi there, I'm J.E. The girl cut him off and motioned towards the classroom. You must be with the high school tour of prospective students. They have already headed into the classroom over there. Then she turned and walked away. Jamie was a little insulted by the comment, however, under the circumstances it was somewhat expected. Wednesday night, Jamie jumped into bed. Marjorie got into bed but was cold to his playful intentions. By the end of the week, Teddy and I will have produced a solution to the regression and I'll be your old hubby. Then you will wait till Friday. With that, Marjorie turned away from Jamie and went to sleep. Jamie, however, laid in bed beside his wife, unable to sleep. Suddenly Marjorie turned over, pushed her husband out of the bed and onto the floor. What do you think you are doing? That was completely disgusting and lacked any dignity I'd expect from an adult. You can just march downstairs right now and sleep on the couch. With an angry woman standing over him, Jamie embarrassingly fled the room, grabbing his shorts and a shirt on the way out. Jamie ran down to the living room, sat on the couch and quietly wept at what transpired. In the morning, the kids ran downstairs for breakfast, waking Jamie. He got up and walked into the kitchen where the entire family, including the dog, were waiting to be fed. As he walked up to Sheila, they both stopped. She was now the same height. Dad looks to be the same age as Sheila. Michael said loud enough for everyone to hear. No, I'm not, he snapped back. I'm at least a year or two older. Sheila turned away and snorted, yeah, right.